I realized that I have a job that not many people talk about, and some people just don't want to know about. But it's an important job, and I have learned in the last year, it's been a whirlwind of a year, professionally and personally. This election systematically changed the course of my life, and in more ways than one. I became the coroner, and I kind of thought that it was, Paulding County is still kind of close knit, and I knew that there was going to be some challenges, and I knew that there was going to be some situations that we encountered, and I was ready for that, and I still am. But I've learned that we're facing a lot of different things in this county, a lot of serious things, and it's not Mayberry, I mean, Andy and Barney are long gone from here. So if you've been watching the news, I know that you know that we've had several murders lately. And when I was growing up, we just didn't have that, we just didn't have that out here. That was in Atlanta, that was somewhere, and to me, Atlanta still seems far off. But it was somewhere just outside of here. It just didn't happen here. And if it did, I didn't really know about it. But it's been challenging to come into that and to see some of the things that people do to each other. And for no reason at all. Just, got mad and did something stupid, or, just don't care about people anymore. So, I think it's good when you have a community and a county that does care about people, and we try to help get to the bottom of some of these things. And Lydia asked me this morning to kind of touch a little bit on teenage suicide, because I know that some of you have kids in the room, and I know that you guys have been concerned about that, and I am too. We've had about 3 or 4 teenage suicides since I took office in January. And I don't know why kids get to that point. I don't know why anybody gets to that point, but a teenager to get to that point and feel like that they don't have a way out of whatever situation it is, that's sad to me. All I can tell you is that you need to be aware of it, and you need to talk to your teenagers. You need to really advocate for them and try to find out what the root cause of this, because mental health is a serious thing, and it's something we're encountering every day too with the coroner's office. But when I took office and when I was running for office, I made some commitments to you guys that I was going to work on and things I was going to do. And one of those things was that I really wanted to establish it more relevant than, to the county. And so what we've tried to do is we've tried to come in and kind of evaluate each area of the coroner's office and see what we can do to improve it and to make it as efficient as it can be for our community. So a couple of the things that we've done is we've developed kind of a new system as far as our paperwork goes. I actually have pronouncement forms now that we give all the funeral homes. So there's some paper documentation that a funeral home goes home with, which helps us and helps them. We have personal effects forms, so we're keeping a record of what these people have on their person, and that protects us and protects the county and makes sure the family knows where everything's at. And then the big issue and what people are really asking me about right now is our storage situation, because I think during the election that became a big highlight in the county for me. Was I don't think people realized that we didn't have a morgue, and we still don't. We don't have a morgue here in the county, unfortunately. But what we have been able to do is secure a relationship with a neighboring county in Polk County. Tony Brazier has been a great help to me and a great friend. And he has allowed us to use their facility until we can get one here for us. So that's, ideally we're going to have one here, but at least if we can't have it here, at least it's just right here next to us, and it's in a very secure location. If you've ever been out there, it's in conjunction with their sheriff's department. So literally it's secure, and there's all kinds of police traffic around it all the time. So we don't have any issues with that. And they let us in and let us out all hours of the day and night. And so that's where we're taking our people right now. And then we're going back and getting them and taking them for autopsy if they need one in GBI. So that's kind of what we're doing. Now, as far as the storage goes, like as of now, what we're working toward, Gary Gullidge and a couple of the commissioners have voiced their support in kind of creating the same system here for the new jail, and putting a holding facility of sorts in our new jail in the next couple of years. So that's what I'm really advocating for, because I just think that would be the best option for us. As far as the cost goes, it's really not, if I, you really would think that it would be more expensive than it is, but when I checked on it, it was a room that held about 10 to 15 deceased persons, and it was continuously cooled, and with a 5-foot door opening, and the cost was roughly $15,000 to put that in the new jail. So it's not going to be nearly as expensive as I think people thought it was. I'm not trying to be CSI Paulding County. I don't need a lab, and I'm not running around needing microscopes and all kinds of stuff. But I think that we do need that, and that's what I've been really working on and trying to get everybody to realize, hey, we need this. As far as the coroner's office goes, we have actually done, I actually added it up this past week, done approximately 135 calls this year, which averages out to about 14 a month. And now that's not all suspicious circumstances or homicides or suicides. A lot of that is natural deaths. If you have hypertension and diabetes, please take care of yourself, because those are the ones I get called on. It seems like every person that I get a natural death on, they have those. And, and when we're called, it's because they're at home or they're outside of a hospital, and, they're not in the direct care of a doctor. So we deal with those too. So, but 14 calls a month, I mean, I'm not saying I do 14, but that's the average. So you might have 8 this month and 20 this month, and then, 5 this month and 22 this month. So, but that's what it's averaging out to be. So we're on track to easily do about 175 to 180 calls this year. And so it's quite a position, it's quite a job, and it never ends. So it's every single day. So, but that's what I wanted to share with you all today, is just some of the things that we've done and what we're kind of moving toward. I do have 3 deputy coroners that help me, Barry Mosteller and Frankie Matthews and Thomas Cole all help me with the coroner's office. So I wish it was where I could go on every single call, and I would love to be able to do that. With that kind of volume, though, and that kind of unpredictability, and you might be in the middle of one and get a call that there's another one going on, so we have to have those guys to kind of be my eyes and ears and communicate with me and help me on those situations, and so they're doing a great job too. But I'm telling you, it's been an eye-opening experience, but I appreciate the opportunity to be your coroner, and I know that it's a big job, and I knew that when I ran for it. Never thought I would run for coroner, and Rita actually had asked me a long time ago if I would ever run for coroner, and I said no. but God moved and changed my mind on that, and I'm glad He did, because it's been, even though it's challenging, it's been probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And that sounds strange to say that when, people are hurting and people don't understand why you would want to, why you would think that it would be rewarding to do that. But when you can help them find an answer when they don't have one, that's a unique thing that, I'm glad I get to be able to do. So it's helped me with the funeral background to be able to do that, and to have that knowledge that I acquired in school. And I did go to school a long time, and to know that all those things now, that's really just coming back to help me, and I'm able to see things now that, in a different perspective too. So, but I think we're doing pretty good. There's always room for progress, and I'm looking forward to just moving along with it. And it's only been about 9 months in office, so I got a couple of years, a few more years actually, to iron everything completely out. But by the end of my term, I hope that we'll have secured that facility in the new jail. I'm looking forward to that, and I believe that's a very big possibility. And I'm hoping that, we'll be right where we are as far as, keeping up with this paperwork and making sure everything's efficient and we're responding on time and in good timing, and that we're following through with our families and just loving on people and caring about people, because they need it in that time. When the coroner gets called, it's a bad day. It's a bad day for somebody.